Nagaland has still not quietened down, largely because the killing of 14 civilians by the army has brought back a rush of memories of days gone by. The peace assured in by the peace accord that all groups in Nagaland were keen to accept has been broken, but can still be restored if the government intervenes to take action against those responsible for the killings and reviews the working of the Armed Forces Special Powers Act. The first can be done, the second in all probability not, as no government at the centre has agreed to the long-standing demand for the repeal of AFSPA. Iram Shirmila and her 16-year-old fast and other protests from time to time have not been able to compel the governments in Delhi. The tribal groups in Mon district where the incident took place are spearheading the current protest and have given the central government a 30 days ultimatum. As citizens of India, uphold our dignity and honor, they say.
Welcome everyone to another edition of Off Limits. Our guest this time is Honang Konyak. He is the Vice President of the Konyak Union in Nagaland, which is spearheading the protest after the 14 civilians were killed by the army. This union is the apex body of the Konyak Naga tribe, which is based in the Mon district where this incident really occurred. So welcome to the show. And we're really happy that you've given us the time for this. Tell me a little bit about, this is arising from the ignorance that Delhi has about the Northeast. So tell me a little bit about your union and how long it has been in existence and what your role has been in that part of the country.
The Konyak Union is the apex social and customary institutions of the Konyak Naga tribe,
right,
which deals with every customary issues, not only with the customary issues, but it also deals and handles all those law and order situations in the region. So as an apex body, the responsibilities about the Konyak Union has a big responsibilities. It governs all aspects of our daily lives. So coming back to the incident, I would like to narrate in a sequence that we wanted to convey to the world.
Okay.
See, the atrocities committed by the Indian military forces had been concealed for so many decades. But we never realized that that's the injustice towards us. But over a period of time, we started to reconcile with ourselves, live as a citizen with dignity, honor, and in peace.
Yeah.
See, we talk about those atrocities. We have heard it from our grandparent. I've heard it from my father. But this very incident that we have seen it with our naked eye. And that very incident that has occurred on 4th December had totally shattered the very trust that people as citizens were building on over a decade. And that incident has led us to question the identity, the dignity as a citizen. That is a very discouraging fact that we are experiencing right now. See, we have a justification to prove why the Uting massacre on 4th December, where 14 innocents were killed. There are lots of evidences which you have seen in the newspaper or in the news. They were innocent, they were a daily wage earner, they were returning home after a week-long works in the gold mine. They had earned some weekly wages. They were going back to the village, to the family, to the parents, to the children on that particular evening. It was a broad daylight. It was a broad daylight. Nobody told them to stop. they were fired about, they were killed. That incident itself proves that it's a declaration of war. Now we also heard about the evidence from the living witnesses who were there during the incident, who are still alive. And I have also had audio conversations with some of the surviving victims that were present there. If the military forces have killed them, why did not they let the police, the law enforcing authority to come and pick up the dead body? Why were they trying to drag away hidden in a turbulent? That's a big question that we need to ponder. See, now when we talk about all those incidents, to add to a wound, our Honorable Home Minister have made a statement saying that they were fired about when they were fleeing. They were not fleeing. It's purely a kacha road. You know what is kacha road? And that road is not built by the government. That road is built by the villagers itself. And the terrain, the gradient is very steep. And I tell you, any motor vehicle without any only with a special gear can climb up this terrain. And the questions of fleeing do not arise. Now, when the government of India is making such kind of controversial statement, how can we trust the government of the day? And as I've said, we wanted to live as a citizen with dignity and honor. The Konyak Union on 14 April 2021 have declared a resolution not to pay tax to any Naga political groups. That is what the aspiration of the people, to live in dignity and in peace. Why didn't the government of India acknowledge such move which has been late spearheaded by the Konyak Union? Now talking about the disturbed area, talking about the Armed Force Special Power Act, we also heard about like the government of India is in peace talk with all the Naga political groups. When the government is at peace talk with all the Naga political groups, why it is being tagged as a disturbed area? I tell you, if we are to talk about the NSNYA group, they don't have a base or designated camp or any operating office within Mon district.
They've never had it, or they don't have it now?
They don't have it.
Okay.
And all those Naga political groups who are having a designated camp, operating office, they are in ceasefire with the government of India. And why is the government of India declaring the area as a disturbed area and enforcing Armed Force Special Power Acts? And that is a big question. Now I have one question to put forward. Before the government of India, how much budget is being sanctioned for this, for implementation and execution of Armed Force Special Power Act? Who is using that money? How that budget has been utilized? Now we would like to question the stance of the central government as the government of the day. And it's a privilege for me to talk before the citizens whether the government should stand to protect those 21 para commandos, or the government should deliver justice for those 14 innocent victims that has been killed. I'm very much disheartened. Now, this is a chance for the government of India to prove whether we as a Konyak, are we the citizen of India? Or are the government of India simply doing a lip service as always? We need justice. Our people need justice. The victim needs justice. And as the Konyak Union, we stand for justice, peace, and integrity, and to live as citizens, as human with dignity and honor. Thank you.
Okay, so were you supportive of the peace accord when the NACN signed it? Or have you been sort of out of that whole ambit?
The peace accord that has been signed between the government of India and the Naga political groups. See,
yes.
As a citizen, we all aspire to live with dignity and in peace.
Okay.
We all support it.
Okay.
So there is no denying. We still support, we supported it because any peace accord we are for it.
Okay, so you still support the peace accord, so there's no problem there, but you want the government to take action against those responsible for the killing of the 14 civilians.
Definitely, definitely.
So that's your main demand.
That's a main demand.
And
We have placed a demand before His Excellency the President
yes,
of India,
yes,
where we have said like that special investigation teams should be constituted. Number
yes.
two, all those officers and jawans or commandos involved in these should be put under applicable civil court. The action taken should be brought into public domain. And now, as I've rightly pointed out about the Armed Forces Special Power Act, which has been licensed to kill, a dragoon law, and that is not only concerning with Konyak alone or people of Mon district, it is concerning the entire citizens and especially the northeastern states. So
But
such dragoon law should
Iram
be.
Sharmila had sort of had the 16 years fast for the repeal of AFSPA. And
Yes.
there was so much of division. She didn't get the kind of support that she was hoping from all the groups. Isn't that so?
See, we had supported her in every way possible, morally, and we wished like that justice had been delivered. So it's not the questions of not support or not abstinence from it doesn't arise.
Okay.
We still stand by her.
But would it have helped? Because if at that time more and more groups had come out and taken a united position against AFSPA, perhaps you would have been able to prevail upon the government then.
See, with due respect and honor, I would like to relate the incident that has occurred on 4th December, not undermining any other issues.
Okay.
When I bring these issues, it's a very different issue. It's an instant issue where it has been declared in the world, even the military forces have admitted like it's their mistake for the first time in the history. So when the killing, when the bloodshed has occurred, so the gravity of the issues gets a bigger momentum. So in
Yes,
a way,
it does.
yeah.
Of course it does. But I was also going back because, often we find all of us everywhere, regardless of who's the government in power, that when these kind of issues are raised, because people do not get united, others do not get united, so we lose opportunities in history, really. That's why I brought up Ram Sharmila, because she by the end was feeling very isolated and she felt that people were not supporting her in this long fight for the repeal of AFSPA, because AFSPA has been used over and over again in a controversial manner, right?
Yeah.
As you yourself are saying. So perhaps it was an opportunity that was missed, wasn't it?
See, I would not say the opportunity had been missed.
Yeah.
The agitations and the resistance against ASPA, there is no definite time and moment that we say like whether we support or we don't support. It's a movement of all the people, of all the race, especially those states that has been affected.
Right.
Now, the incident that has occurred with us,
right,
indeed, that is pushing up what the Iron Lady have initiated. And I would like to connect that issues together. So when we talk about SPA, I understand like it is not a day issues to be resolved.
right.
Now, when the lady from Manipur have initiated, now the very incident that has occurred in Uting Yadong will be connected with it. And that's how gradually that momentum, that resistance will grow. That's what I believe.
Right. Now, there has been a history of insurgency in some of the Northeast states. The
Yes.
peace accord hasn't been completely placed into effect because of the same issues of flag and constitution. So you can't say that it has been implemented. Now, do you think with this kind of an incident and others, it'll fan the flames of insurgency again? Or are you going to make sure that it remains within the democratic realm?
See, when you mention about constitutions and flag,
Yeah.
and I'm sure you are referring to the stance of the NSN IM.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So our stance, as I've clearly mentioned, we wanted as a citizen We are not a political group. And I've clearly mentioned we are the customary, social and customary institutions.
Yes.
So any political issues, we leave it on those political leaders who initiated and spearheaded. And as a citizen, I would like to comment, and I've already commented, like we wanted to live in peace. And for any peace process, we support it. And we want to live as a citizen with dignity and order.
And in the democratic framework.
Yep.
And you're anti-insurgency, and you've not supported that in the past and won't in the future, right?
So the insurgencies, I would rather call them as a group who fights for justice, who fights for an identity of the Nagas. So the government of India and those Naga political groups have been in talk for so many decades. Now we place all the responsibilities upon them. And as a customary institutions, we are confined and restricted to comment on such issues which have been dealt at the political level.
Okay, so that's where you, fine. So let's see how this goes. So you've given the government 30 days, I think,
Yes,
to
definitely.
answer your demands, right?
Yes,
and
yes.
if they don't act the way you want them to act, then you're going to step up the agitation.
Definitely, madam.
Okay.
See, it's a fight for justice, and justice cannot be left
Right.
in a midway. So we have given 30 days, and it's a people's movement, it's a civilians movement,
Yes.
it's a citizens movement.
Yes.
So I believe the government of India should be matured enough in dealing with the situations.
Okay.
And as I've rightly said, the government of India should prove whether we are its true citizens or not. And I wanted to declare that as a Konyak, we are very emotional, but fiercely loyal, and we had been to the government of India. Hence, I place these questions and chance to the government of India to prove whether we are its citizens, or will the government of India be doing a lip service as always?
Right. I think on that note, we will end this conversation. Thank you so much, Honang, for joining us. And we'll be in touch. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye.
So I think what the interview itself is self-explanatory. 30 days for the government to decide whether it looks upon the people of that region and of Nagaland as citizens or not. And if it thinks that they are citizens of India, they will take action against those responsible for the death of the 14 civilians. This is what Honang Konyak just told us in the interview. Let's see how this moves, but it is very clear that the death and the firing has become an emotional issue of sentiment, and it's an issue which has Nagaland united at the current moment. Thank you.